I feel like there's a part of you that doesn't know if you're made for love. And don't run away. Because this message is a little bit deeper. Because you'll see. Just don't run away. I feel like there's been some stuff coming up recently where you've kind of been facing this crossroads in love. It feels like very much like a crossroads in love. And it's a crossroads that it's almost like, it's not like love isn't in your life, okay? I want to be really clear about that. Listening to these first few minutes is going to kind of help you understand if this message is for you, is what I'm getting. And I'm also getting, like, you guys know me. When I adjust the camera like 20 times, it's because there's an uncomfortable energy here. And I think that there's something, like, it almost feels like there's something for you to be looking at in love, in yourself and in your reality that's coming up right now. And I feel like there's a part of you that thinks it's a little bit easier. This feels very much like a call out energy, and I'm just gonna say it as it comes through. Don't shoot the messenger. But I feel like there's a part of you that thinks it's a little bit easier to just write love off than to look at where love is being or showing up as a challenge in your reality, because it's asking you to love more and to open more. There's an energy that I was feeling a minute ago while I was just like listening to this channel as it was trying to come through, and I was sitting in a public setting and I was just hearing this energy of like, me trying to capture the exact energy. I feel like there's such a throat block here when it comes to love. I'm getting this energy that you've had a lot of love that it feels exhausting, okay? There's this energy of exhaustion in love that is coming through, and there's a little bit of a throat block as well, because there's a part of you that it's like you're being asked to open, but it's not that you're closed. Let me be very clear about that. It's just like you're being asked to open again or open more. And it feels like exhausting because I think you've done a lot of opening in love, and I think that I'm just getting this vibe that you've done so much healing in love that you're exhausted at the fact that it still feels like love isn't for you. But the thing about this sentence, and there's a throat chakra block coming through here, is that I feel like you rely on this, or you lean on this energy of love not being for you. You guys know I cough when there's a really gnarly throat block. But I feel like you have this like tendency to lean on love doesn't work out for me. Love isn't for me. Like, love is sour, or it's like you take this energy, or like it's a quick pattern that happens for you where love, it's easier for you to place distance between you and love. Like, it's easy for you to lean on it as a crutch, as instead of like when it's so hard to like put into words. When it comes to an area in your life where love is about to transcend, and it feels like love is being pulled out of your reality, where it feels even more empty than it does. I did a channeled message on this energy the other day, but it wasn't about love. But it's this energy of like, it's about to feel more empty before it feels full, okay? Because you're being emptied out in order for you to be filled. And that's what's happening in love as well. But the other channel message that I did was about like, I think it was more like all around. Sometimes I can't remember the messages because they just come through. But this feels very much like in love specifically, where it feels like it's like being pulled away. Like, I think something has just happened in your reality where you've had some kind of like an epiphany is what I'm getting. And it's not just an epiphany, but it's like this energy that you've been like wallowing. It feels like you're sitting at the center of a tornado of energy. Ooh. And in the center of this tornado of energy, you're feeling, it's like you're sitting with all of the truth of love in your life and where you want to take it from here. And also your desires in love. And this is the main energy that's been coming through quite strongly, is like, I think that you actually know the love that is meant for you. Like, I think that you feel it inside of you, and you feel how I want to say like how real it is, how honest in partnership it is, how it's shown up for. And you want to know how I know that you know how you are, how love is meant to show up for you, is because you're the type of lover that is meant to show up for you. So you know, because you love people in the way that you're destined to be loved, but you've never met someone who loves the way that you love. And I think that that's something that makes it really difficult, right? Like that's where it becomes like really hard, is that you understand the depth of love and the ways that you're meant to be loved, or you know how deeply you love. I think that you have like a very deep sense of loving. Like I feel like you love people. I want to say that you have like a gift when it comes to loving. I think that you're a very unconditional lover. And I'm also getting an energy that your heart, it's not that it's bigger than anyone else's heart, but I just feel like you feel things quite deeply and in a way that like a lot of people don't, okay? Like I just feel like your heart has like a sensitivity to it. And I feel like your heart's sensitivity actually has been like kind of manipulated or put down throughout your life. Like I almost feel like you've been taught to harden your heart. I'm hearing harden your heart from that rock movie, Rock of Ages. I'm gonna harden my heart. I'm gonna swallow my, I don't know if these are the words, tongue. I'm gonna da 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 da. You know what I mean? That song. Like I feel like you've been through so much in love, but you've been through so much in love because you love more deeply than a lot of people do, which is why I'm getting this energy of like it's irritable or annoying to be told from a channeled message to open again, to open more. You're like, what the fuck do you mean open more? Like I feel like there's this energy here where you're like, again, this is that crossroads energy, you know, like that but that energy is like, you're like, I don't know if there is more for me to open towards. Like I am so fed up with this energy of me trying to soften even more into myself. But what the angels are telling me right now is that it's not as simple as those words as I'm speaking them in this moment. They're giving me this energy that when they say open right now, what they mean is unharden the parts of your heart that have been hardened and feel irritation when you come to these points in your life, okay? There's something about you leaning into the emptying, okay? And I keep getting this message, like I feel like this is so significant for the collective right now because I swear, it is in the moments where you think you can't lose more that more gets pulled away. It is in the moments where you're like, about to hit this massive like breakthrough energy or this transcendence in love that we're feeling, right? You're about to hit this beautiful coming in of love, and it's in those moments right before where suddenly all the things that are going to stand in the way of that love get pulled out of your reality. And so instead of feeling that transcendence of love that you can feel is so close to you, you feel less of the love that you thought was coming in. And it's such a disappointing flavor. Like that's it feels like, you know when you have like, you know when you play that game, that jelly bean game, and you eat the flavors and like one of them's good and one of them's gonna be gross? It's like that feeling when like after 5 or 6 rounds you still get the gross one and you're like, what the fuck, bro? Like that's the vibe that I'm feeling, okay? And I feel like it's not, I want to be really clear, like I do feel like you've been through a lot in love, but I do not feel like you are the person anymore to think that love has harmed you. I almost get the energy and vibe from you that like love has made you a better you because you have chosen to grow through love and to love again and to open again. And so I don't really get the energy of like you being so sour at love that you're like, fuck this, like my heart is closed. But I do feel like you've been through so much in love, and also I want to say like really deep, dark energies in love where you have had to harden your heart in love, and then I think you had to soften it or remove that hard shell. So funny, we also just did a message the other day about that shell opening for some people. If you guys saw that one, that's significant as well. Like that shell shattering open around the heart, and this heart awakening, right? That is happening because it's happening so that this new love can come in. And I'm not even gonna like go into that because I can just feel the rolling of your eyes when I say, oh, this new love. Like, it's not about that right now, okay? And even that feels annoying. Like, I can just feel this crossroads energy is like full of irritation of like, you want love, but you don't want love. But you do want love, but then when someone says love is coming, you're like, whatever, fucking, I haven't seen it show up in so long that I'm like fed up. And I'm also getting an energy here that this isn't just love in partnership. I feel like this is also love in community. I'm getting a little bit of both coming through here, okay? So for some of you, this isn't just partnership. I think it's actually both arriving similarly at the same time. And what's funny is that I can feel that this is this is one of those moments in your life where like it's so obnoxious and you're literally like about to give up on wanting it. Like, that's what I feel like you're hitting in this crossroads, this like point of like crucifixion is what it feels like. It literally feels like you're like, I'm done. Like, I'm done trying to make friends. I'm done trying to find a partner. I'm done trying to get people to love me when like, and it's not even, here's the thing. I say that, but like, I don't even think you're like trying to get people to love you. I think you're just craving love. And so you're very actively manifesting it. And yet I'm feeling like in the manifestation portal, there's the part where you want it. You realize you want it, you speak it aloud, you write all about it, or you talk about it out loud, and then you have to come to that point of letting it go in order for it to come in, because you have to practice that detachment. And the thing is that I think that you've practiced the detachment, but I don't think you've fully detached because you haven't come back into the center of this exact moment, because you still feel that desire for it, because it's so strong, because you know that at a point in time you have that. And I think that it's, again, as I was saying, this is one of those moments in your life where like it's so obnoxious, but the moment it releases, the moment it arrives. The moment it releases is the moment it arrives. And then there's going to be a moment in your life where you're like, you're going to literally sit in your reality with love in all corners of the room. I'm literally seeing like a room, and you're sitting in the center. No, they're showing me you sitting in the corner. You're sitting in a corner, and then there's another corner, another corner, another corner, and it's all love in different areas of your life. You're like, whoa, but like right now it's completely empty. It's just you, and you're not even in the corner of the room because you haven't detached. You're in the center of the room right now. Okay, so there's a positional change that is going to be happening within you, where you're stepping away from calling that energy in and stepping into a new area of receiving that energy and not needing that energy at the same time. And so I think that that's where that fed up energy is coming from, because it's almost like I'm just coughing so much today. Sorry about this. I have like I got a really, really bad pimple, and this is so unnecessary. TMI, Freya. It's like a pimple, but then I like pulled a star patch off of it, and it had another pimple inside of it. So I double popped 2 pimples, and it's really gnarly. So I have a little healing patch on it right now. Oh, to be a woman. But yeah, I'm just feeling this like energy of like this fed up energy is coming and stemming from the fact that it's kind of hard, because I feel like you put a lot of pressure on yourself because you know, or you have an understanding of where you're supposed to be right now, which is in that detached energy, but you're not in it. And I think that the more energy that gets applied to you knowing that you need to be in that detached energy, it kind of like constricts you from being able to arrive in that detached energy. And so you know that love isn't here yet. But I'm also just getting this like energy of like how we started this message out. Like, you feel like love isn't for you. Like, I feel like there's a part of you that's leaning into this energy because it's like, this is your pattern. Here's the thing. This is a pattern that's being brought to the surface for you to look at and for you to overcome. And of course that's going to come to the surface before you can... Every time I try to talk about this energy, have you noticed that I get a block? Hold on, the battery. Literally another block. I'm like, does Spirit not want me to like talk about this? Of course Spirit does. Hold on. All my batteries are like close to dying, so that's kind of awkward, but we're gonna hope that this like makes it through. Otherwise I'll try this other one. So anyways, every time that you get kind of close to this energy, I can feel that like, or we get close to this energy, a throat block comes up, right? Literally. And it's because there's this pattern that's being brought to the surface right now in your connection with love for you to look at, witness, and rewrite, okay? It's like you're being asked to do the really, really hard work right now in the theme of love in your life, where you rewrite this pattern, where you lean upon, that's that block, where you lean upon that energy. I want to say energy, but it's like that energy of like, love isn't for me. Like maybe I'm not made for love. Maybe love just is only meant to show up how it is presently in my life, because like maybe I'm just like, to be completely honest with you and to really call you out, like it's so funny because I think you've done a lot of self-work. I think you've done really, really hard shit when it comes to like your mentality and your heart chakra, your solar plexus. Like I think you've done a lot of work, and yet the energy that's coming out right now has to do with your self-worth. Like it's almost like because love hasn't arrived in the way that you want it to arrive, you feel unworthy, and it triggers a part of you that feels unworthy of love, because I also feel like you see it a lot in your reality. I'm getting this energy that like there's a lot of people in your life that are in love or that have that love, and there's something about you where you can't seem to comprehend why it's not in your life and why it's in everyone else's. Like I almost get this weird like comparison energy, but it's not really about comparison, but it's just there because that's how the world works. Like that's how they teach us. That's how the matrix takes control. But there's like this vibe where like it actually triggers this part of you that's like, that feels unworthy of love. So it's almost like, I don't know, I feel so weird like bringing this up and like saying it so blankly, but like again, don't shoot the messenger. I feel like there's a trigger point from your childhood or from your life where you decided you weren't worthy of love, either because of something that happened or because someone left you, or some kind of like there's an energy here where you're like, well, if love is showing up in that way, then like I obviously don't deserve it, you know, like, and it's not even like you really think thoughts like that right now, but there's like, I'm just breaking down this base energy and like tuning into it, okay? So that's why the pattern leans, and why you lean on that energy of like, maybe it's just not for me, you know, like maybe I just don't have that in my story, maybe I should just be grateful for what I do have. And it's like, it's funny because I feel like because you've done so much inner work, you know to tune yourself into the energy of gratitude, and yet you're also there's a discontinuance that you're creating or crafting between the essence of the gratitude that you feel and love. It's like, because you're like leaning on gratitude, but from an energetic frequency that also says you aren't worthy, and so it disconnects the two energies, or it counteracts is a better word, and then that stops it from being able to come in as well, okay? You have to think about like if you have two wavelengths going like this way and then they meet up together, instead of like having one going this way and one going this way but on different timelines, if you have them going this way, if they're at the exact same like energy approaching each other, they will cycle out and create a zero, and it will be like nothing is there, okay? That's kind of the vibe that's coming here, is like two opposing energies that when they meet each other, it like cycles out to zero, which isn't a negative thing, because zero is a great energy to be at, but it's like because you're creating both those energies, you're like calling something in towards you, but then your energy is at this other frequency that cancels it out, so it can't arrive. So it's almost about like removing that energy from yourself completely and recycling your energy back to zero so that this other energy can arrive into you and move through you. I hope that makes sense, but like the way that I was taught about the world was through wavelengths and stuff, because my dad's an engineer and like a physicist, and so like my whole life he explained things to me in like wavelengths and like how stuff works in physics, and so that's why I'm explaining it that way. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I just feel like there's this, and it's really hard. Like, this is some of the harder work. Like, I think you've like done so much self-work and like inner work that you've hit this point where now it's like getting more difficult to recognize or see the patterns when they arrive or when they show up, because you're still human, babe. You're still human. And here's the thing also. It's okay. It's okay to be human. It's okay to be processing this. It's okay to have all this stuff come up. And it's okay if it takes you more time to move through it and to understand this. The angels are coming through and giving you this bit of knowledge for your own reflection process. Not to tell you that you have to fix anything, not to tell you that you have to change anything. It's more about your deepest desires of love. And the angels are really coming through here also to remind you that like you have these desires for a reason. You are the type of lover that you are bound to find a reciprocal match for. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to love as deeply as you do. Okay? And love wouldn't be such a massive, gorgeous theme in your reality, right? If it wasn't meant to be more of your reality, okay? Like, you are such a lover and your heart is so full and you're going through so much in your heart right now, and it's all opening you, right? You're literally being like, I'm getting like shattered open or like burst open, like you're being there's another word for it, I can't remember, but I'm just, the battery's literally dying again. Hold on. How do I not have, like, this one says it's charged. We'll see what happens. Maybe this one's good. Anyways, I just feel like there's a lot of blocks coming through here also in this message, because this is something that's a little bit deeper and harder to process through. But basically, the angels are just like, they really just want to remind you that like this is an opportunity for you. This is an opportunity for you to look at love in your life. Ooh, look at the sun. Yay! To look at love in your life. And it's not about just like being like, okay, yeah, I'm just happy with like this in this area, even though there's that part of you that's still irritated, you know, like look at that irritation. Like, don't run away from that irritation. Like, and look at that pattern where you're like, okay, maybe love isn't for me. Like, what on earth makes you think love isn't for you? Why would you even say that? You deserve love. And I know that you in your head know that you deserve love, but like, I mean, like, love is for you. It is made for you. You are made for love. This is a relationship that you have with love. Okay? And so by discontinuing that easy fallback pattern of saying like, maybe it's just not for me, maybe I'm not like cut out for it, maybe I'm like da-da-da or whatever, you're like, maybe it's just like, that's just not my story. Like, stop making excuses like that. Like, it is your story. Otherwise, why would you have those deeper desires? And why would you be the type of lover that you are? Like, please explain to me. Like, why would you love in the depth that you do if you were not bound to meet your match in love? You are. You are. Okay? But right now it's about focusing on that energy and that part of you that it's this literal, like, it's such a like portal opportunity for you to dive even deeper into that part of you that feels like, I want to say abandoned in love, or like I don't want to say unchosen. It's that energy that goes deeper, 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 deeper still into you, where something happened, or at some point in your life you felt like love was either taken from you. It's about healing that relationship that you have with love and recognizing that it is a relationship between you and love. Not even just like how love shows up in your life, but there's a part of you that says like, maybe love isn't for me. Like, how do you think that makes, if you take love and make it into like a concept of a person, and you're like, maybe love isn't for me, and then love looks at you and is like, you don't want me here? Like, you You think that I'm not made for you? Like, think about it that way. Do you see little love being like, you're gonna hurt me because you don't want me and I want you? So take it apart in that way. I feel like that's also a really cool practice that you can do, is like taking whatever it is that you're like processing or struggling. I know people do this all the time with money because it helps a relationship with money, but doing it with love, making love a persona or like an essence that you're like, oh, I shouldn't be saying these things about love if I want love in my life. Love is for me. I love love. I want love around me. I know that love will find me because the more I love, the more I attract love to be in my circle. Love is one of my best friends. And you attract the resonance of what you experience most often. And I know that you love a lot, and you love deep. Wow. This is such a beautiful message, and also very, very hard at the same time. I do feel like you've just been through a lot in love, and I think that there's a part of you that also has a little bit of a fear of really like opening to love. But this is all like beyond the concept of love itself. That's like the base patterning, what we just talked about. And then like I can feel that you have this like deeper fear to open to love. And it's not even just to open to love. I just think that like to open in a way that you haven't yet opened before. Because I know that you know that your heart, I think you love deeper than like, I don't even know how to put it into words, the amount that you love. And I don't even think that you have fully touched the amount that you can love. I think that you have been close, and I think you have experienced something in your life which has really shown you how much you love, and that created a fear of losing. I think you have a fear of losing because of how deeply you love. And so there's a part of you that's also kind of closed off to it. Maybe you're like coming up with reasons why it might not work out, you know, like that's that pattern that we just talked about. But like, it is gonna work out, and it's meant for you. And you have a match. You do. That's it. The angels literally just like mic dropped me. That's like the end of the message. Okay. Ugh, this thing like comes off. Anyways, I love you. I love you so much. I hope you know that, and I hope that this message like really came through at a time when you needed it the most, and it really brought light to areas in love in your life that you can look at, or some practices that you can bring forth, because I can just feel how deeply you desire to love and to be loved in return. Like, and I can just feel how it's so meant for you. And I can feel that disappointing, that sour, that jelly bean disappointment, you know what I mean? I can feel that happening for you at this time, and you're worried, you know, that it's not going to turn out in your favor. But it is. It is going to turn out in your favor. And you just have to, I hate to be the person saying this, but you just have to have more faith in yourself, and remember that you are worthy, and that you can open, and that opening isn't going to hurt you. And it's never going to turn out the way it has in the past, because no moment exists the exact same way it has already. Everything is different. And if that's the only thing you can have faith in when it comes to love, is that it will be different, have faith in that. It will show up in a different way than it ever has before, and that can give you faith that it will show up better than it ever has before too. Okay, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, and I will see you guys in the next message.